Welcome to Oracle and Evasis presentation of the Future Projects for Engineering Construction Transformation. My name is Rick Anthony. I'm with Evasis, and this is an event sponsored by Oracle in the Construction Engineering Innovation Lab, as well as Evasis. We're going to begin this, and let's go to the next slide and do at least some introductions here of who is on the phone today, as well as the agenda. So first, we're going to speak about Oracle and Evasis. We'll have Frank from Oracle present on that, and myself and Herschel on Evasis. And then we're going to jump into challenges in the engineering construction sector. And then we're going to talk about the engineering construction solutions. And then again, go into the steps towards advanced technologies, innovations in that area, and then we'll get a virtual tour of the Oracle Industries Innovation Lab. So let's go to the next slide for introductions. My name is Rick Anthony. I'm the VP of Evasis, and we have on our side from our Center of Excellence in the construction and engineering area, we have Herschel Shaw. We also have Frank Malajon, and he's Senior Director, Product and Industry Strategy at Oracle, and Eilish Nolan from the Industry Innovations Lab host, and she will be giving the virtual tour. Please, if you can, I know there's going to be questions as we go through, so please use the questions box for any questions that you may have. So I'll turn this over now to Frank.
Thank you, Rick. Just a few slides to explain who we are from Oracle. So we're part of the Construction and Engineering Global Business Unit. You can think of us as a company within a company. We're solely focused on delivering solutions for the engineering and construction sector. And more broadly, we look at that as any organization that either builds or operates large critical assets. This is our mission to transform the world for both owners and delivery teams, and these are some of the characteristics that we look to instill in our products as well as in the industry. You want to go to the next slide, Hoshi? So when we're building our products, we're really focused on what we call the construction challenge, and in this industry, projects are created by many organizations, hundreds of organizations coming together to deliver on a particular goal, a particular asset. When all these organizations come together, some of the typical problems are that that there's a large volume of information sources, which causes there to be data silos and with lack of visibility and control. And this graphic here is actually a communications web for a particular project that shows each dot is another subcontractor or entity within a particular project, and all the lines are the communication channel. So the large projects, any project can get quite complex, often leading to late or over budget projects. The environment and execution of projects can be complex because of the work conditions that have only gotten more complex because of COVID, limited ability to try new things, and of course, there is absolutely no tolerance for mistakes. All of this combined leads to squeezed profits with high risk. You want to go to the next slide, please? So the products that we deliver for the build community, when you look at PMI has a concept of a iron triangle. And the premise of the iron triangle, for those of you not familiar with the Project Management Institute, is that if you manage the three sides of the triangle, schedule, cost, and scope, you'll deliver a successful project. We've added a third dimension to that triangle to make it more of a pyramid, which is modeling. We deliver on the schedule side. Many of you are aware of Primavera P6, which is the flagship scheduling tool. We have a follow-on scheduling tool that's only delivered in the cloud called Primavera Cloud. We have for scope and modeling, we have Aconex, and then on the cost side, Aconex and Textera as well. All of that together delivers kind of an end-to-end construction site. Okay. Now, how this all comes together is that our tools are in addition to the ERP. We need the ERP to feed our tools, and we feed the ERP. So we're complementary to the ERP. Because we're Oracle, we have the ability, we've done it before, to integrate to the ERP bidirectionally. So if you take our products, we have an integration framework that we deliver as part of our products called the Project Integration Framework, which has the plugins necessary to integrate with in this case ERP Cloud. All right, and Rick, if you want to take it from here.
Thank you, Frank. Let's go to the next slide. And what I want to do is just give you a quick overview of Evasis as a company and help to qualify why we're here today speaking. So Evasis is among the top 5 Oracle implementation partners globally. We're in 30 countries, 1,500 consultants globally. By ERP Today magazine said we've taken more customers to Oracle Cloud than any other Oracle partner globally. And the way we do this is very different because we have well over 1,000 Oracle Cloud customers. And we do this through various areas in various ways. And one of those is our value-based delivery, where we look at the ability of a company that in the beginning of a project, they set up, they want to look at an established a return on investment. And we do that, we track those KPIs through the project and make those part of the deliverables. And we have a center of excellence in construction engineering that helps us to deliver those. So of those 1,000 plus customers, we've taken over 250 on-premise customers to cloud and well over 90 engineering and construction customers to cloud. And that's on a global basis. So we do have quite a bit of referenceability in that space. And with all things that happen with cloud, there are specific areas within cloud that are very fixed. And sometimes there are gaps in certain areas. And what we've done, and we'll talk about that later, is how we've addressed those gaps in the implementation process and cover those gaps that's particular to construction and engineering. We do cover all of the Oracle pillars. We only do Oracle, so we cover ERP, EPM, HCM, supply chain, CX, and CRM as well. And we have won numerous awards. Last year at Open World, we won Global HCM Partner, and in 2017 won Global ERP Partner. Let's go to the next slide and we'll show you a few of our customers in the construction engineering space. So there's just a quick snapshot of some of our customers globally. Some you may recognize, and there are a number of others. So if you would like to have an understanding of a few of those, please do get in touch. And later in this presentation, we'll take one of these customers and go through a brief case study. Next slide, please. So before I turn it over to Herschel, wanted to just give you an overview of the ecosystem within engineering and construction. So when we look at engineering and construction, there is a holistic view you have to take. There are the principal developers, there's a general contractor, there's the subcontractors, design and consultancy, all these various other elements within this ecosystem, which oftentimes work on their own, but also they have some of that functionality in multiple areas in the ecosystem. And we have worked with customers in all these areas, everything from the equipment and material supplier to facilities management and those people that have done various things in between as well. So just want to then introduce now Herschel, which he'll take you through the next portion of the presentation.
Thank you, Rick. So as Rick mentioned, and Frank also in the introduction, I mean, with the current set of situation, where because of COVID, because of some unrest, there are lots of challenges that ENC set of organizations face, and in order to overcome this set of challenges, it is important to have a kind of a single enterprise-wide application structure, so that the information can be passed on easily without any interruption. And before we go into the solution demo, where I'll show how Oracle can help you manage your projects, starting from procurement to to using some advanced technology, which Elish going to show. Let's understand which are the challenges that we have seen our customers facing. So the project delivery, again, delays in the project delivery, and most of the reason why the cost of any construction project or any project goes up is because of unplanned activities, because of delay in the delivering the projects, and which leads to a kind of an overrun of the cost. So we have seen, and again, this is nothing which is uncommon. We start project with budget X, and when we reach to a level or halfway through, we come to know that now it is going to take 1.5x or 2x to complete the entire cost. Now it is extremely important for the project managers, the program managers to maintain or curtail this cost, or make sure that the project is completed within the allocated budget, and that's one of the key criteria for the success of the project. Now for this set of people, so for the people like CEOs, CFOs, to understand how the projects are going, what is the health of the project, it is important to have a kind of a real-time reporting. It is important to have a visibility into the projects on a daily or rather on a frequently basis. Now with multiple systems, with non-integrated environments, we often end up doing manual reporting. So you pull the information from multiple applications, you pull the data, and then you do massaging, create charts, reports in Excel, and submit it to the CFOs or finance directors or CEOs. Now what it does is it basically delays the overall reporting effectively. If I have to take an action now, I need report today and not after 7 days. And if I'm submitting any report after 7 days, basically the action which I should have taken a week before has no relevance anymore. So that kind of challenges we have seen organizations facing. A lot of paper floating around in absence of an integrated environment. So a subcontract invoice is coming on the paper, lots of work completion coming on the paper, work order running on the paper, and sometime it get missed to be entered in the application, and ultimately it end up being not reported or end up in proper reporting. Again, a few other challenges around subcontracting. Again, it is extremely important to have an integrated subcontracting process, because within a single project, you will have a lots and lots of subcontractors. You will have contract with the architects. You will have the contract with the other side of labor provider and some other parties. It is extremely important to have an integrated billing solution or integrated solution which takes care of penalties, which takes care of retention, which takes care of billing based on the percentage of completion. So all this are something which is being managed within the Oracle application. We talked about the billing. We talked about the productivity again. With lack of information, uh, it end up in with low productivity from the end user side. So again, quite a few pain areas, and that's what we are trying to address today. So what we are going to do in next 1 hour is we are going to show you some solution that can help you overcome all these challenges and the pain areas that you may have in the organization. Not necessarily you might be having all these challenges, but yeah, if there is one of the challenge which you want to overcome, so for example reporting, so you are fine with project management, but reporting is one of the challenging area, then you can look at that piece of solution, and you can dig into how you can make your reporting automated. Similarly, if you want to enhance your process, you can think about bringing in some innovation or innovative ideas like using RPAs and into the processes. So yeah, we are going to talk about all those stuff. Now, let me quickly, move to the application and show you the application, application demo. So just bear with me for a moment. Okay. So I just want to quickly check. Can you see my screen, the application where you see Emmy Marlin?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so now this is so Amy Marlin is the project manager, and I have logged in into Oracle application, and in Amy Marlin's day-to-day job is to manage the projects which are under her. So what basically she does every day is she gets into this application, she look at the notification which she has got from different different parties to those projects, which are the tasks which are assigned to her and she needs to complete. So rather than going here and there, she can just come in here, see these are 5 tasks. She can click here and she can actually go into the task. If there are internal announcements that comes from the organization, if there are some changes in the regulation, all this can be managed or can be announced in the application itself. And if we go down, and what we can do is we can configure this particular dashboard to show the health of the different projects. So Amy Marlin currently managing 15 projects. These are the health of the different projects. There is one project, and so again you can have all list of the projects. You can look at your time cards. If there are any invoices which are awaiting approval, you can look at from here. So as a project manager, I do not need to reach out to many people, just to get my job done. I have everything available in my dashboard. What I need to do is just get into it, and let's say if I want to go into the details of this 15 projects, I just click on that, and all my 15 projects will open up, and I can go further into each project if I want. So that way, the kind of work that project manager needs to do becomes easier. He or she doesn't need to reach out to many people to look at multiple information. You can define these cards as per your needs. So there are predefined cards available. You can look at. So if you want more cards, you can create more cards in here. So if you want system to tell you that always give me unapproved invoices first, then you can have those unapproved invoices awaiting in here. So that way you can manage all this stuff. You can rearrange easily. So that way this becomes much easier. You can see how many employees have not filled in the timesheet with who are working in your project. This is a kind of a quick overview. So as a project manager, when I start my day, I can just come in here and I can look at the information. Now, as a next step, what I want to do is I want to get into the details of the projects. and go into the detail of one of the projects. So I can go into project performance dashboard, wherein I could see the summary of all my projects. So as you see, I have, these are the different projects I have, and this is a kind of a project comparison. So let's see, these are the project, what is the completion percentages, what is the health of the project, and so on and so forth. And from here, you can actually quickly look at the inception to date, actual labor hours. You can do a multiple analysis. If you want to do a quick variance analysis, you just change it and you can do a quick variance analysis right in here. So this is pretty much easy to use, and all the information you will get right in front of you. Now, you are at this project and you want to go further into the project to understand the details of the projects. You can just click on that, and system will take you to the detailed task list of the project. So I can look at the projects, the task list, the Gantt chart. It shows, what is the project progress lines. You can take multiple actions. You can set the baseline. You can define your budgets. So you can do multiple activities right from here. And then if you want to go further down into this, you can go into project financial plan, and then you can look at the project breakdown structure. So this is my top project. These are the different tasks I have created to complete this project. I can put my plan date and dates, again similar to what we generally do when we do the planning. And within each task you have an option to assign resources. So let's say in order for you to complete this task, you need multiple set of people or multiple set of supplies. You can actually plan for that right in here. So let's say I have already budgeted for supplies. Now I want a specific person to complete this task. I can actually bring that person. I can budget, the time for this particular resource into this activity. Now, this application is tightly integrated with any of your HR application have. So you do not need to create these employees again. It actually pulls this information from the HR application that you have. So you can define all your resources. Resources could be your employees, your contractors, your probably inventory or some machinery that you may need to complete this particular task. Then let's say if you want to look at some progress of the project, you can go in here. So there are multiple options available. So most of the organization we have seen, book their revenue based on the percentage of completion. And again, sometime organization book the completion based on how much cost has incurred as compared to the budget. So all this automation can be configured. Alternatively, you also have an option to enter completion manually. You can look at all this information right in here. So it's up to you how many columns you want to look at. If you want to look at all the columns that are available, you will be able to see everything for a specific project. So how many percentage of the cost has already been spent? So you can look at the Gantt chart as well if you want. So currently it is not configured, but yeah, otherwise you can look at the Gantt chart. And let's say once you are done updating your project plan, once you are comfortable, and let's say if you want to publish it to your manager for his or her usage, you can publish it right from here. What this will do is it will actually send the emails to respective people on the completion of the or probably status of the project. So that way you can manage your entire project right from single screen. Okay. So this is where we can manage your project financials, everything. Now what happens, when we go into the construction, it is important that we connect our procurement, our invoicing with the projects, and that's again pretty much straightforward to do from the Oracle application. So let's say if I need to procure some material for a specific project, what as a project manager I can do, or I can ask my team to do, is create a requisition and assign it to the project. So you do not need to worry about allocating the specific cost to the project. As soon as the material is delivered and it is in use, the system will put the cost of that material into the project. So I'm in a purchase order which is specifically made for a specific project. So here you can align all your distribution or deliveries to specific projects, to even specific tasks. So let's say if you want to assign it to, let's say, project construction project task number 3 or 4, or less architectural task or labor task, you can do that in here. And that way all your budget can be tracked against task number or at project level. So if your organization has a problem of overshooting the budget every time, you can control the budget right from the requisition level. So all these are pretty much easy to configure, and again, all these are interconnected. So right from a project, you can reach back to the procurement level. So you do not need to, reach out to different people to get the requisition information, which are aligned to the projects. The taxes are also again automatically calculated based on the configuration, based on the state in which you are. So all these are pretty much, available within the application. So once the PO is created, you can directly send it to the supplier. So again, no need to send it manually. You can have EDIs, or you can have an email way of communicating. Interestingly, so Oracle team is going to talk about the advanced technology and innovation lab, what we are doing with the construction specific activity. But one of the important thing is is the chatbot or a digital assistant, which makes the life much easier. So let's say as a project manager, I just want to know a status of a project, or let's say I want to raise an issue on certain activity. I can just get in here and I can say help. And what it will basically do, it actually goes back into the system and it brings up the information that I need. So let's say I typed it help, and it will give me an option what kind of help I need again in the project. So oops, sorry. Okay.
And I just want to point out as we go through this is, what we have found with a lot of our construction engineering customers is that they do have systems that do a lot of this and cover this area, but they're disparate systems. They don't communicate. Here, with this solution here, it's one source of truth integrated through through all your workflows within the business.
Yeah, most of the time this is kind of fast, but yeah, I mean, just I want to give you the background. Yeah, so that is a bit of trouble, but yeah, what you can do is I can say show my projects. So they will the bot will reply, you have 15 projects and these are the first 3 projects, and you can either look at the financial status or create an issue. So I just did the financial status check, and it will give me all this information. So that way, even without navigating within the application, you would be able to know all this information from the digital assistant. And I also have a video where we have implemented a similar digital assistant for a customer. So customer interacts through Siri, and it they are pulling the financial information on mobile. So yeah, so that's a quick solution demo. There are a lot of things which I've not covered, and again we need a lot of time. So if in case you want to see these things in detail, feel free to reach out to us or Oracle, and we can definitely arrange a kind of a detailed demo for you.
Yes, and at the end of this, we would encourage you to reach out to us, and we can have a lengthy discussion with you on cloud readiness and your readiness to move to cloud, if that's an ambition of yours.
Yeah. Check planning to to procurement, to billing to the customers, the letter of guarantee or letter of credit kind of bank management activities, your manpower management. So who is the right resource for a specific task. So resource alignment, resource management is also covered as part of this entire end-to-end project management process. You can manage your equipment. So with the Oracle fixed asset kind of a module, you can manage your assets. Again, you can also manage your leasing without worrying about ASC 842. So the Oracle applications are complied with the new lease accounting standards. So all this can be managed. The material management, and at the end, what you can get is end-to-end reporting, and I would say real-time reporting. So anything is updated in the application, the reports are updated. So you could have a 360-degree view of your project, or your program, or your even EBITDA and income statement. So that way, Oracle application would provide you an end-to-end visibility of the of your entire business. Now, this is a kind of a quick high-level flow of the application. So as I mentioned, not necessarily you might be facing all the challenges. You might have some challenges around managing your leads or opportunity. Then you have a different solution for that. So all these are integrated, but you can still use this as a standalone if you have the pain area around only those set of application. So as you see, these are the different set of modules which are all integrated, useful in the different set of activities. We talked about Textura, we talked about Primavera, we talked about Econex. So again, from the execution perspective, you have multiple Oracle as well as Evasis modules available. I'm sorry. And again, all these applications are integrated. So let's say if you are updating anything in the cloud procurement and you are tagging the procurement requisition against projects, the information will flow to the projects as well as it will go through the GL. So all this information you will be able to see. Now, so the solution which we just talked about has something for each set of area or each set of business processes. So for the CFOs or for the finance VPs, the most important thing is to make sure that project health, or we don't end up running in the losses when we go into the project. So effectively the solution gives a multi-dimensional and real-time analysis of the project health, even as well as a total program health. And let's say if there is some challenge or there is some health project health issue, and if some project is running into the losses or in the delay, I mean, the CFO office will have ability to drill down into it and identify where the challenges are, and they can take the corrective action. Similarly, they do not need to depend on the site team to share a lot of information, since these all are captured in a single application. CFO team or the finance team can easily view the information entered by the site team or the HR team. Similarly, from the operational side of the area, they are more interested in understanding the billing, the retention with the subcontracting, how to effectively manage the project completion, the how to put the better control. So all this can be managed within the set of application which we talked about. From the HR side, managing the employees, again, since I can request the employee needed on a specific project and CHRO can view the request, they can easily manage the which is the right person or who is the right person for what kind of project. And for the project manager, we looked at the application from the project managers or the PMO's perspective. They can look at all the information which is required to manage their project efficiently. So again, the solution has something for every set of department, and with this set of solution, you as an organization would have a visibility of end-to-end processes in the single application, rather than going into multiple places to look at multiple information and then collaborating it on Excel or Word before presenting it to the board or the higher management. This is a quick success story. So we talked about, so we have more than 90 customers now whom we have helped putting together this kind of solution. And EEI Corporation is one of such customers. They were kind of a manual. If I talk about back office operations, they were doing a lot of Excel. There were a kind of a papers literally floating from one department to another. They were using old system, homegrown system, which was not supported. It was error prone. And what we did with EEI is help them migrate to Oracle Cloud set of application. They have been using this application for more than 2 years now, and basically what it did with EEI is they are now able to look at the information on a real-time basis, so that they do not need to depend on people. They have eliminated need of asking too many questions to different set of people. I mean, all these informations they can get from the reporting available on the Oracle Cloud. Their entire procure to pay process are managed within the application. Their entire project management cycle are managed in the application, and the project managers are extremely happy using the application, and they are using this to manage their day-to-day work. And this is a quick a summary for your reading. So we are going to share this presentation with you. So yeah, the advanced technology, I mean, we talked about the chatbot. Again, this is a live use case with some hypothetical data. But what we have done with one of our customer, who so their executives used to travel, of course, before COVID scenario, but they were on the road all the time, and they didn't have time to get into, let's say, application and look at the information. So what they wanted to do is, for the purpose of easiness, they wanted to give an access or easy access to their executives to look at their financials and compare it with the last year. So we have kind of developed this kind of a digital assistant which interacts with the applications right directly. And with Siri, with Google Assistant, or any kind of, even Alexa, you can use connect the Oracle application and get the information right in front of you. So you don't even need to log in into your laptop or application, and you'll be able to see whatever information you need on your mobile. And all these are real-time information. So if there is someone updating, let's say, project information, if there are someone updating the schedules, all this information will get updated. And yeah, and this is kind of last slide before I hand it over to Oracle team. So again, I mean, we all must have heard about IoT solution, IoT devices, where you can actually monitor the device, your equipments centrally. So let's say you have a project site somewhere in Boston, you are sitting somewhere in New York. In the older world, what you want to do, or what we used to do, is call up the someone at the site, ask where this equipment is. If we want to move this equipment from one site to another, we have to do a lot of coordination. With IoT kind of a solution, you can actually monitor the health of your assets, the location of your asset right from your corporate offices, and you can actually manage your equipments right from your corporate office without having to reach out to your site managers. So this way, overall managing your equipments, the health of the equipments, when they would need maintenance, all those kind of tasks can be centralized. So that's the kind of a solution, and that's the right segue where I'll hand it over to Frank, who will talk about the kind of innovations that Oracle is bringing in the construction and engineering set of organization. So yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Harsha. Harsha, if you want to advance the slide, please. And again, if you could. We did a video. Some of you may have seen it, which is named Construction 2030, and it was our take on what construction site would look like in the year 2030, and it had autonomous vehicles in it. It had, models. It had predictive analytics. And what we're hearing is people who have see that video now during the pandemic, that they need that technology today. That really the Construction 2030 video should be renamed to be maybe Construction 2023 or 2024. And the thing to realize, and you look at this timeline of technology, the one thing that is totally missing, that we missed and everyone in the world missed, was all that COVID-19 technology that's entered the industry. If I told you a year ago that you would be taking people's temperature as you were coming onto a job site, you would think I was crazy. Yet that's happening universally now. So before COVID happened, we needed the ability to help organizations understand how to bring this technology into their organizations. Now, with the pandemic, it's become even more important for our customers to help them exploit this new technology. If you want to go to the next slide, please. So this is kind of how we help our customers. First of all, obviously, when you come to the Innovation Lab, or now we have the ability to visit the Innovation Lab virtually. Hopefully someday soon we'll be able to host customers there again. We have our products, all right, in the portfolio planning, pre-construction, scheduling. We have P6, which is the flagship scheduling engine. We also have Primavera Cloud, which has CPM scheduling connected to lean scheduling. For project cost, design, construction, coordination, and job site mobility, we have Aconex. Aconex, you can do all of that subcontractor management, change order management, RFIs, both through the web or through mobile. Design and construction coordination, all of the document management, document review, plan set management, model coordination, so that you can view models, understand where the clashes are, and there are actually plugins to some of the popular authoring systems, so that team members can use the application they're comfortable with, yet still do issue management inside Aconex. And then finally, we have Textera payment management, which is all that subcontractor payment management, lien waiver management. You take all those products. Well, on top of that, we have a new product called Construction Intelligence Cloud, which is the predictive side of this. So today, it does predictive scheduling. So that what I often say now is that it's the human intelligence, what's been there to create the schedule. You marry that with Construction Intelligence Cloud, or CIC, for artificial intelligence, and it just yields better outcomes. It does not replace the scheduler. CIC will augment the scheduler. We take all that tech and we partner up with our partners, and this is some of our partners that are looking at next generation technology. Versatile, they have an IoT device that hangs from the hook of a crane, and it measures and it tracks the lifts. It schedules the lifts and tracks the lifts. SmartVid came into the industry pre-COVID with artificial intelligence that they call Vinny, and what it's able to do is actually interpret pictures for health and safety events. They've upgraded it now so that it could actually send alerts when there are clusters of people who aren't social distancing. Triax came into the industry, and you'll see this when we do the video of the demo. They're a health and safety wearable, and now they're actually doing contact tracing. They have a device now that does contact tracing. So all of this tech, we partner with our tech, and in some cases they partner with each other. And we show you how this all would work together at a job site. So do you want to go to the next slide, please, Asha? When you come to the site, there are no demos. What we do is we hand you a PPE, we hand you a script, and you go through a scenario. And while you're going through the scenario, you're actually touching the tech. You're touching the tech at a mock construction site, and we're working with you. Our partners are working with you. So by the time you're done, you've gone through that scenario, you have touched the tech, and you understand how this tech all comes together to help you execute work. If you want to go to the next slide and just build out this next slide. So phase one opened in August of 2018. It was an outdoor construction site with a job site trailer. It's located in Deerfield, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. At the time, it worked great. We had over 1,200 customers walk through those gates in about a year and a half, maybe a little bit over a year and a half. Just over 1,200 customers visit the site. As you might imagine, being in Deerfield, it got to be not so fun in the middle of the winter, and we always had to worry about weather. So in November, we broke ground for phase two. In November of last year, we broke ground for phase two. It is the nicest aircraft hangar you're ever going to see in your life. The back 2/3 really replicates what you see in phase one. An outside construction site, only it's undercover, so we can take our customers rain, snow, and shine. And then inside, in the front third, is our meeting space. Phase two construction should be done relatively soon. As I said, it was started in November. Sydney, Australia, we have phase one construction underway. In fact, it's almost done right now for phase one for Sydney, and we're evaluating new locations for the next innovation lab. By the time we're done, we will have a global network of these innovation labs. Next slide, please. Shows you the actual lab space. As I mentioned, this will be that outdoor mock construction site that we saw in phase one will now be here. You can see the footings for the steel once it gets erected. On the floor will be all crushed gravel, and we'll be able to do those experiences here and not have to worry about the weather outside. And on the second floor, you can't see it from here, but on the second floor, there's a 50-person amphitheater, so that we can bring customers in and they can look at what's going on in the lab. And now I'd like to turn it over to Eilish, and she'll actually take you for a virtual innovation lab visit. Eilish?
Perfect. Thanks, Greg. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining that.
Thank you, Eilish. Thank you. That was very good. And it showed a lot of the innovation the lab has, and we do want to encourage everybody on the call today to once the lab is open to write and request a tour, because I think I've seen pictures yesterday of the up and coming building and how it's looking, and it's quite impressive. It's quite impressive. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. We're also, I was just going to say real quick, we are doing virtual customer visits now too. If anybody's interested, you can shoot me an email.
Great, thank you. So if we can just put up the question slide. So that concludes our presentation for today. We'd like to see if there's any questions that you may have, anything that today you might want to query about. Feel free to type those into the questions area. We're also going to share this presentation with you, which will have our contact details as well. Okay. Any questions? Oh, there we are. So there is the website for visiting the construction engineering site for Oracle. They do have additional videos on the landing page as well to give you additional tour, and there are the email addresses. Frank, anything else you'd like to add?
No, just you know, we are the partners that we showed are just a few. Feel free to reach out if you are thinking of how to begin your transformation or to continue transformation. We'd love to talk to you. As Eilish mentioned, we're using our tech and partner tech at the lab, really as an R&D event. So we've already got, especially with COVID, we've already got some learnings that we're happy to share around remotely managing a construction site. You know, I guess that's it.
Thank you, Frank. And again, you know, please feel free to reach out to us for a cloud readiness assessment. We'll sit down with you, look at your systems, look at your business, and if obviously you'll fit within that ecosystem that we showed you previous, and we can start helping you to decide your transformation or continued transformation in that area as well. Thank you all for joining us today. It was much appreciated. Please leave feedback if you can, and you'll be receiving a copy of this presentation as well. And in doing so, if you again have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you all.
Bye.